If you clicked on this video, you probably want to lose weight. So welcome to Fat Loss Basics Episode 1. I'm down 35 kg, so I think I'm pretty qualified to talk on this matter. On today's episode, we will be covering the absolute fundamental thing that you need to understand if you want to lose any weight, which is a calorie deficit. Weight loss and calorie deficit are the exact same thing. You can't lose weight without being in a calorie deficit. So what exactly is a calorie deficit? Well, a calorie deficit is when your body is using more calories throughout the day than you are eating, which forces your body to use another type of energy to use, which is primarily fat or muscle. Now, we all know exactly which one you want to burn and which one you want it to not burn. And we'll be touching on that later in the video. But first, I want to go over how you actually create a calorie deficit. So step 1, you need to find out your maintenance calories. Now, there's a few different parts that go into that. But as this is a fat loss basics video, I don't want to go too advanced into the different factors that go into your maintenance calories. The baseline is you need to find your maintenance calories, which you can do very easily by simply Googling maintenance calories on Google. And then you click on the website, fill in all the info that it asks you. It's going to ask you things like your age, height, weight, and daily activity. Now, what's important is that you don't overestimate your daily activity. Just because you go to the gym and lift some weights does not mean you're active. If you're walking 10,000 steps a day, going to the gym and doing cardio, then you can go and press one of those more active options. But just simply weight training at the gym is not going to raise your heart rate enough to be classed as higher levels of activity. And if you overestimate your calorie maintenance, you won't be able to accurately decide how many calories you should be eating. So step 2. Once you've found out your calorie maintenance, you need to decide how much weight you want to be losing. Now, a good rule of thumb is to eat 500 calories under your maintenance. That would allow you to lose approximately 0.45 kilograms of fat a week if you do that every single day for 7 days, which is a healthy and sustainable amount to be in. But if you want to lose more fat, just increase the deficit, and if you want to lose less fat, decrease the deficit. So how do you actually know what you're eating? Well, step 3, you need to start tracking your calories. There's no point eyeballing or guessing how much food you're actually eating because you'll be very surprised by the amount of calories in some foods. For example, a handful of peanuts, you might think that's a healthy option. Well, peanuts are one of the most calorie-dense foods in the world. So how do you actually track your calories? Well, all foods will have information in the nutritional section on the package where you can find the calories per 100 grams. And then when you weigh it, you can do the appropriate maths and find out how many calories is in the food that you're eating. Doing this means you can accurately track how much you're actually eating every day, ensuring that you can stay in that calorie deficit. You can also use apps like MyFitnessPal to track your foods, or you can simply just note them down in your notes. Great, now you understand what a calorie deficit is and how to get into one. Now the next thing I need you to understand, that I wish I understood at the start of my weight loss journey, is the way to lose fat and not muscle is to make sure you're eating enough protein in your diet. A general good rule of thumb is 1 gram per 1 pound of body weight. That'll ensure that you're not only not losing muscle, but you're actually able to gain muscle, making you look bigger while you lose weight. The way that I found best to get my protein in is with turkey mince or eating chicken breasts. Those are just my 2 personal preferences, but any lean meat will do the job. Look for low fat content, high protein meats such as beef, chicken, and turkey. Now, there's 2 other macronutrients that you need to worry about. They could be seen as slightly more advanced, but for me, I would say they're non-negotiable. And that's carbohydrates and fat. Obviously, you'll end up eating carbs and fats in your diet, but it's whether you're eating enough in your calorie deficit, because it's very easy to just neglect them because you see them as extra calories. But carbohydrates are your body's main energy source, so completely removing them from your diet will basically mean you feel like shit in the gym, shit on your walks, will most likely lead to you binging. So whatever you're not eating in protein, I'd split the rest of your diet 70-30 between carbohydrates and fat. Now what do fats do? Fats do a range of things in your body, but the 2 main things are they help with your testosterone. You need fat in your body to produce testosterone, which I will go over in another video. I want to do an in-depth video on testosterone because it is a very important thing. not only for fat loss, but for your entire life as a man. Or woman. Women need testosterone as well. And the other thing is they help regulate all your other hormones, making sure that you don't feel shit throughout your whole diet. And that literally means it affects your brain and how you think. Now, something that has no calories, but you should be consuming is water, and a lot of it. I aim for 5 litres a day, but 2+ will do. But the more water you can drink, the better. Your body obviously needs a lot of water. It is made up of it. So drinking a lot of water will make sure your body is running as best as it can. Now, moving on from the diet. Another way to increase your calorie deficit, as opposed to how much you eat, is how much you burn. And how do you do that? Simply put, you need to move more. You always hear people saying move more, eat less. Now we're on to the move more part. So how do you actually do that? Walking. Walking is what I will always preach. It's a great start. It doesn't require a lot of energy. You don't need to be in insane shape to walk. Anyone can walk unless, obvious reasons. But go outside and aim for 10,000 steps a day. But moving more than you already are now, if you're improving each day, that is something you should be very proud of. You're not going to be perfect day one, but it's whether you keep pushing to be 1% better every single day. So just try and get more steps than you did the day before, and you should be fine. So what does walking actually do? Well, it's a great form of cardio. It's a low intensity cardio. Walking 10,000 steps a day burns anywhere from 300 to 500 calories depending on your weight. Because the heavier you are, the more calories you burn while moving, because it's harder for your body to move as there's more weight. Walking will always be something that I preach, and it's always my favorite form of cardio, and it's what I found personally works for me. Walking outside and then doing a little bit of incline treadmill every so often in the gym. But any form of cardio will be beneficial. Just choose one that works for you. Choose one that you enjoy. If you like playing tennis, tennis is a great form of cardio. If you like swimming, go do that. Any form of cardio will help you increase that calorie deficit, because your maintenance is getting pushed higher because your body needs to burn more calories to keep up with your day-to-day lifestyle. Now, what I wouldn't recommend is, say your maintenance is 2,300 calories and you want to eat in a 500 calorie deficit. So you should be eating 1,700 calories a day. What you do not want to do is say, I'm going to eat 1,700 calories a day. I want to eat more. I'm going to go burn 200 calories and then eat 1,900 calories. Because one, that is not a healthy cycle. It's an okay cycle, but it's like your diet should be fitting enough that you can stick to it without having to do that extra cardio. And number two, whatever source you're using to track the cardio is most likely not 100% accurate. So you're just lying to yourself, trying to make yourself feel better by doing the cardio and then eating more. Now, the final point I want to make on this introductory video to fat loss is another way to increase your maintenance. And that's by weight training at the gym. Growing your muscles increases your BMR, which is something that goes into your maintenance. I'll touch on that in a more advanced class. But simply put, because your body has bigger muscles, it needs more energy to fuel those muscles when you're doing the exact same things that you do normally. Think of it like a cow. A cow eats more when it's a big, heavier cow. It needs to eat more grass simply because it's bigger and it needs more to fuel its body as they have bigger body parts. It's the same for humans. If your muscles are bigger, they need more calories to do the exact same things as smaller muscles, meaning your body burns more calories day to day. Now, that is the absolute basics of a calorie deficit. Just to summarize, find out your maintenance. You can go online and do that. Eat 500 calories under is a good rule of thumb, but you can decide that yourself. Track your calories so you know exactly what you're eating every single day. Do cardio because that will allow you to burn more calories, meaning your deficit will be larger, meaning your cut will take less time. Do more cardio because that allows you to be in a larger deficit without crashing your calories to zero and starving yourself. Weight train at the gym because when those muscles are built, that's like passive income for your calorie maintenance. It pushes your maintenance up every time your muscles grow, meaning your deficit becomes larger, meaning you can eat more while maintaining the same deficit. Now, in the next episode, I want to dive more into the diet because that is the key component in losing fat. I plan to go over a long list of foods that you should be including in your diet that will keep you very full and make it easy to stay in that deficit. I also want to share tips that I found personally helped me along my journey. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that little bell, and stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.